phase 4 of ranking a stump grinder in Portland, Oregon. So we're going to work on content and authority in this section. So now we've added a image to the hero of the homepage. As we scroll down here, we still got a link to our service page. We've got our areas served, a meet owner, review section. Then we also have down here, we've got our Google map embed. We've also added a blog. So we're going to go through here. We're going to look at our service, our areas, our blog, and we also added an about page. What we're going to do is we're going to look at our schema and see what we've built up on it. So we've got our local business schema. We've got our image. We've got the areas we serve. Contact point. We're also telling Google, hey, we are located in this very specific geo area. We've got our aggregate rating, and that's how you get this on Google. That's how you get that little rich results. Our hours, our website, we've got some review schema. And then now we're going to start to work into person schema. And why we're doing this is because we want Google to know who we are, more about us, and the things that we know about, the things that we understand, the things that we do, right? That we have certain certifications, certain other information about us. Now, what we can do here is we can tell Google, hey, this thing we know about. The name of this is stump grinding, and we can give it a knowledge graph ID, and then we can also give it a Wikipedia link and a Wikidata link. All of these are external sources to create what would be considered like a knowledge graph. So Google's already aware of what stump grinding is, and it has all of these external resources that we are identifying with this URL that this is the same as those sources that Google already knows about, that Google already has a whole bunch of history. It's done all the research. It knows almost everything it can about stump grinding. We are linking to those very specifically. So Google's like, oh, okay, so this giant knowledge graph that I have, this knowledge data that I have of this specific term, stump grinding, you're linking to it. Okay, so you're about this thing. You're the same as. Then not only are we doing that, we're saying tree stump as well. So let's go and look actually at this, right? Let's go and look at the Wikipedia page. This will make it make more sense. So by linking to this, we are telling Google that all of this information is relevant to us. This is something more about us. We're telling Google what we're more about, what to think about us, what are we relational to. So we're taking all of the work away from Google having to figure more out about us. And we're saying, hey, that very specific thing you already know about and have all of this information about, hey, we are that thing. We're relational to that. So just look at all this free information we don't have to do anything about. What I mean when I say that is that we don't have to put this on our pages. We still will and we still can. But because we have all of this external knowledge data or this like knowledge graph data from Google, from Wikipedia, is that this prevents us from having to go into. So look at all of this information that we're saying to Google, hey, we're relevant to this. We're telling Google, hey, we're an arborist. Hey, we're telling Google that we're all of this information. And then not only that, from this Wikipedia article and from this Wikidata, Google then has other information, like other things it knows about that are in relation to this. So then what it starts to do is kind of similar to what the schema looks like visually, is that it's going to start building this out and get a better understanding of who you are and what you're about. Okay, so that's the schema we've been slowly building out. We're going to close all of that. So this is our service area hub. We're going to go to our main service page. We can see here we've got some trust signals to convert people to get our service. We're talking more and more about our service. We've got all of this additional content. And because we built the page out like this, it doesn't look like a lot, but when we go and use this Chrome extension, Ahrefs, which I highly recommend, what we can see is that we actually have 3,500 words on page. Yes, this is 3,500 words on page. because we've SEO optimized it in a way, in my way, right? We're not doing these long, huge, giant like skyscraper articles or having these giant bodies of text or paragraphs. We're basically stationing it in a manner so that it's not hurting the customer's journey or experience. What we're also going to do is we're going to look at the images. So from the images that we pulled from our reviews right here, we have yet to SEO optimize them or add alt text to them yet. But when we do that in the next phase of SEO optimizing for this, this is just going to add even more and more content and structure to our pages so Google gets a better understanding of what we're about. And we're going to go look through the schema again. So let's see here. Okay. So that's our main service page, right? We're keyword targeting stump grinding in Portland, Oregon. So now we're going to move over to our service area pages. And so each of these pages are individually targeting cities around Portland. And we've got 7 of these. Okay, so now in phase 4, what we've done is we're going to start building out blog content. And so we've got 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6 blogs here. And the whole purpose, so the whole purpose of blogs and these other service pages for me, or these service areas, these location pages, is that what we're wanting to do is tell Google that we are authoritative with the service that we offer. We know a ton about this service, right? We also know all of the things that are relational to the service. And also, the blogs we're going to write, we're going to talk about the area we serve. When we go to one of these blogs, right, what we have is we have these attractions nearby we're going to write about. And the reason why we're doing this is because this is going to add geo relevance to our website. Because we're talking about these specific attractions in this specific city around this specific area, right? And then we have multiple blogs of things you want to visit while in Portland, Oregon, right? And we're all linking to our main service page, our stump grinding service in Portland, Oregon. It's going to tell Google more and more, okay, they serve Portland, Oregon. Having all of these internal links point to that one page is just going to boost it more, and more. Now, there does come in a point where having all of these internal blogs and all of these internal links to our money pages will stop working. It's not going to, like, you can't just keep making blogs and internally linking them to continue to boost your money page. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to build those pages. And then once we start to see that that's not working, this is when we know that we need to start building more backlinks to these pages. This is also where we can start to get to ranking secondary terms, right? So let's say we build out these 5 pages, we build out these 5 blogs, and we're pointing them all towards our money page. And we start ranking number 1 for our money page. Then we can start doing some secondary services, and we can start building blog content around that and start pointing into that as well. Or instead of the second service, we can start turning one of our area pages, our location pages, into a second money page, and we can start trying to rank in that area. On our blog content, I love doing what are called author cards. And why we do this is to show Google, hey, this blog is about this content. The author is the owner. Everything on this blog content is from the author, right? And we're just trying to build up that person. In this example, it's Marcus Aurelius. We're trying to build up that person so Google knows, okay, they are an expert in this field, in this area, about all of these topics and things. So when we go to look at the schema here, what we can see here is, so we've got a type, right? We're telling Google, hey, this is a blog, right? We're giving it the link. We're giving it the headline. We're giving it a little short description. In this description, we can put more relevance, more geo terms. We can keep adding more content about what this is. Here we've got an image object. We've got the URL of the image. We're telling Google more about this image. We've got a caption. We can put more information in this. We could put another like 2 to 3 sentences. We also have keywords, specific keywords for this page. Then we also have potential actions. We've got citations where we got the information from, mentions, right? We're telling Google, hey, this blog mentions these places. And then again, here we're linking to the Wikipedia. So Google already knows what this is and what this is about. And we're telling it, hey, this blog, because we're linking it same as, is about this thing you already know about. And this helps Google just quickly understand what our page is about. So we've got all of that. And I like doing these author cards because it tells Google blog is by this owner of this company. Then when we go down here, what we want to make sure is that whenever we're interlinking, we want to use anchor text that is relevant to the search term we're trying to rank for. What you'll notice is that in these blogs is that we're going to use keywords or keyword variations of the terms, the keywords that we want to rank for when people search in Google. So here we got grinding out a stump. We want the anchor text, what is highlighted for when people click it and are taken to another page. We want that to be relevant to the search term we're trying to rank for. Then, not only that, we want all of our blog content to link to each other and then all of them to link to the money page. Then, because everything's interlinked to each other, whenever Google goes to crawl it, not only do we have our hub page, but then we also have everything interlinking to each other. So Google can easily go and crawl and find all the URLs necessary. And then also, because we're interlinking everything, when Google goes to crawl, everything's going to be super efficient for it and super easy. So then it's also going to find our links to our money page quicker. So we've got that. Also in phase 4, we're going to build the about page. Now, this is a page that's going to tell Google what about the company, who we are, what we do, who the owner is, more information about the owner, right? What college do they graduate from? What licenses does the owner have? What does the owner know about? This is just going to give more and more information to Google about us, about the company, and it's going to give us more authority, right? Because we're telling Google not only on page, but we'll see if it's in the schema for this page, is what the owner knows about. Who is the owner? So I don't think I've done it on this phase yet. No, I haven't. So we'll have to, they'll probably be in phase 5 or 6. And so as we go through all of these, what we'll see is we've got the image, we've got a decent amount of content, right? When we go and look here, 1,300 words, which is great. It's relevant. It's talking about the service, the top level service that we offer. And then when we go down here, what we're going to see is that it all links to our money page. And we're just going to slowly create this content, not only adding like geo relevance, but also adding more relevance about the service and our knowledge of the service to, and we're all going to link all to our money page. So we got here, down here, got another new, then down here's another anchor text to our money page. We've got our related articles, so all of our blogs are linking to each other. We're still putting our author cards on all of our blogs, so it makes sense that the owner knows about this, the owner wrote this, we're putting the date, and then just each time we've got a link to our money page and we've got a link to the other articles, so everything's interlinked and Google completely understands and is boosting that page. Okay, so that is the end of phase 4. So we've started to add a blog, we've added an about page, and what we're starting to do is we're starting to point all of these links to our money page so that we can start to boost the page because we're adding all of this relevance about these services we offer, right? We're going around and we're talking about other things that are relational to our service. So as an example, what to plant after a tree stump is removed. And we're telling Google, hey, so we know about this, we know what to do after our service. And then in that body of the content, we're also going to link to our page. And by doing this, we're just going to slowly more and more boost that page. Now, at some point, it's going to stop working. Then we also build out the about page so we can tell Google more about the owner, about us, what we do, how long we do it, what we're expert at. And that's phase 4. So now this is